absolutely love Carnival. It brings us all back together. I just think we're sort of lost that sort of community spirit. Whitley Bay, you just went up to Whitley Bay to do the shopping. There wasn't a sense of community, but when we do Carnival Club, you just see that people start to relax a little bit and like creative juices flow, and it's just beautiful. So it's a lovely impact on the community.
I've always grown up in Whitley Bay, and we used to have a really good carnival, a long carnival. There was all the council wagons and costumes, and then you had the colliery bands that had stopped doing carnival, and I used to talk about them, how good they were. Oh, Whitley Bay has always been known for a carnival.
If you're looking at intergenerational work in the arts, Vera and Robin both have mobility scooters. We decorate their scooters and they wear costumes, and that's why they love riding through the parade, and everybody expects them to be in the parade, so we have to do that.
We've had weekly carnival clubs now for the last 3 or 4 years, and then because it's a carnival club we have a family group where there are 150 people involved. Really it's become part of our school calendar and part of what we do, and we think it's really important to be part of the community as a school. And we wanted to make those links and reach out to other people, so Carnival's been a really lovely way to do that.
We helped put the duct tape on the wire, the little code sequences that we helped put on.
Well, we always enjoy it. We always sort of spend a lot of time together making the costumes and things first, and we'll come to Carnival Club, don't we, to make the costumes. It's got a nice community feel because the whole, all the local businesses get involved. It's just a really nice way of all sort of coming together.
One of the great things about it is seeing the development of a new company called Salto, which I've been working for, and see how they've managed to kind of impact on the town, along with Creative Civic Change, who have helped us to develop and to have this wonderful space that we use now. In the early days we used to have a crummy old building that was quite damp, and like storage was always an issue and everything. So the development of the carnival has really come on, and that has really significantly impacted on the town, and other creatives moving in and actually setting up lovely different projects.
I moved back to Whitley Bay about 7 years ago now, having lived in London for a long time. I assumed I'd be working more in Newcastle, but I wanted to live in Whitley Bay. But I've found actually most of my work has been in Tyneside. The important thing for me is I'm able to be an artist, and it's lovely to work with your own community.
We're getting new artists coming in all the time. We're trying to incorporate a lot younger artists now, which is lovely.
We have been brought in by Salto Arts as part of Whitley Bay Carnival, which is funded by the
Creative Civic Change.
It meant that we could bring up an artist who wouldn't be here into the region for 4 weeks to skill share and all that kind of stuff. I've learnt a lot. Yeah. The rest of the team here that have been doing on Whitley Bay Carnival learned a lot. There was a masterclass that went with it as well, where you explained your process.
And that was really fun for me, actually, so I did a sort of a masterclass where I explained kind of just like how I got here.
I mean, the opportunity to have people who are working at that end, like the West End sort of professional level, to be here and skill share, that's fairly unique as well. Yeah. Because obviously, I mean, London is a brain drain, and so you've been able to drain a bit of brain back.
Definitely,
nice.
It's easy to get stuck there, so it's been really nice to have the opportunity to come up here and to just learn from other artists in the region.
There are two very young artists who are 23, the both of them, who are here on this project for the long haul. They're getting a lot of experience, and are already working at a fairly professional level.
Absolutely,
where they
we couldn't have done it without them.
We could not have actually done it without them.
It's amazing what they've added to it.
It's actually my first time part of the carnival, but I've had the best time ever working with the rest of the team, learning so much from them and their experience, and learning about the materials that they use to make things quickly, and and also making things for children, you know, how they wear things and making things comfortable for everyone, as well as looking like visually brilliant in the parade. It's been fantastic working with the artists, not like from outside the area. I actually admired Seb's work for a long time, so to actually get to work with him, I was so like pleased when I heard that he was coming on board, because I hope to think I've absorbed, you know, some of his knowledge. I think I definitely have. I've learned so much from him. And also Tim, the inflatable maker, he worked with us for a few days. It's just really nice, you know, I've learned a new skill and then I can carry it and show everyone in the parade as well.
Well, it's the first time I've felt like really like involved in something. Like a lot of my practice, because I study fine art, is like community based and socially engaged, so this is kind of like coming across kind of like one of my dream kind of things to spend my time doing. I'd say main thing I've got out of it is meeting freelance artists, because I've asked them already, like, oh, is there anything I can be involved with you in the future? Can I do this again? What projects do you do on the side? Can I send you my portfolio? Can I volunteer for you? So yeah, it's quite a big opportunity about how I can find a job in like the creative industry maybe. It's not as scary, it's just real people. And it's a lot easier starting from home.
This group was created for the Carnival, and we both performed at the first Carnival actually.
Yeah, I mean back then I was just playing like, as a hobby sort of thing. So I've loved doing all the sort of music side, and now obviously for a few years now Nick asked us to potentially lead and teach the group. And so I've been doing that the past few years and I've really sort of learned a lot more. So it's been really fun, I love doing it.
This group is funded at the minute by the, I think, Creative Civic Change money, which has allowed it to be a lot more consistent than it was previously, and like allowed us to rehearse a lot more consistently. And still, the Carnival, it's one of the gigs that we look forward to every year, and that this group works towards. So the Carnival's a really nice aim for us as a group.
There was one event in Whitley Bay and a new drumming band performed, and I was just absolutely blown away by this music and the performance and thought, wow, that's really what I wanted to do that. So I actually left teaching, and then the first Carnival happened. I've worked on Carnival every year. I've worked with Big Local as their community worker, and I think it's just about that whole inclusion and connection of people, which has made a real difference certainly to my life, and I hope to the people that I've been able to work with since. And I sort of really found, particularly on the parade day, that there was something inside me which I'd not even known was there, and that was to be a performer in Carnival and an organiser of people, as well as someone who just cared about making people feel included.
The thing about having the funding for this project was it enabled us to go out to different streets in the snow in all sorts of weathers as part of the Civic Change in lockdown, just to try and get people engaged. So we were in people's gardens, we were in streets. It enabled us to continue to work, but actually for some people we were sometimes the only people that they would see. We just were telling people about this Flags of Hope project based on the environment, and once we were allowed, we had groups of people coming together to make the flag.
Having 3 years of year-round funding has allowed us to work the way we like to work, where instead of running 10 weeks of something just for the sake of doing it, where people learn a skill, we've been able to start something like that and then go with what people are interested in, go with the chaos, create lots of interesting things, go off in different directions, and then pull back into something that means something to the people involved. And we also have been working in a way that we've worked towards meaningful events or moments, and I think relationships have developed, partnerships have grown out of that. We've got a couple of actual bands now who are trying to set themselves up independently and raise their own funding, and it feels like that length of time and that consistency of funding has utterly changed the idea of arts workshops. It has been a kind of catalyst for change.
It's particularly important at the moment, I think, with everything that's going on politically and socially. And I think it's really important in this digital age that we're working in an analogue way as well, that sort of idea of using your hands and sort of feeling like you can work with materials, you can mend things, you can reuse things, you can repurpose things. People come from other communities to actually see what we're doing here in the town. And I think it's a point of community pride that we have this incredible event that brings people together in this extraordinary spectacle.